Season 10's preview was just revealed and, it might have killed the game? Nah, I'm joking, it's not really like that. And no, it's not because of the PVE servers. Yeah, they're coming now despite Rare saying it's never ever happening. But said PVE servers might have a different effect on the game going forward that I haven't really seen people talk about. Outside of that, Rare confirmed Season 10 will have 3 months of content updates. These will happen in October, November and December. Wait, does that mean 3 month seasons are actually back? Just disregard anything negative I have to say from this point going onwards. So kicking us off, the super duper secret surprise guilds are coming in October as the headline feature of Season 10. I am truly shocked. This will be an expansion on the captaincy system. Players can create or be part of up to 3 guilds with a cap of 24 players per guild. Essentially, players will pledge their ships to the guild and anyone can be the captain of them. The angle is that your guild can progress your milestones while you're not playing. The guild will also have its own progression bar and you'll be rewarded for absolutely everything you do. With the guilds you can earn a recoloured ship set, some guild clothing and other stuff. They haven't revealed the full rewards yet. With that you can also earn guild distinctions, but they don't really explain what this is. It's basically do everything you did before, but now you can do it as a guild. You can also customise your guild name and emblem from this screen. Overall, it's pretty much what we expected without the private islands or hideouts. I'm very excited to do exactly what I've been doing for the last 5 years, but again and again and again. November is up next and actually looks fantastic. This is the sort of new content Rare should be adding every single season. November adds a new voyage called the Skull of the Siren Song, and this is the first competitive voyage for the game. Players will get shared maps across the server and will compete for the same piece of loot. We can join it by a note appearing on the mast allowing you to vote on it. And then the ghost of Briggsy appears on the ship and tells you what you need to do. Not that she was busy helping the brethren or anything. I wonder how Rare's going to resolve that. Basically, all crews are competing for a chest and key, with both being marked on the map once dug up. When the chest is opened, it will allow players to wield the Ashen Wind Skull. The Skull of Siren Song can be used as a weapon. It can use Bubble Beam on PvE and other players alike. It all sounds good so far. But one thing to note, the skull will also slow down your ship if it's on board. This is absolutely fucking superb and will make running so much more difficult, but it can also be used to escape from an enemy ship by placing it on their ship. We've wanted a new toy for ages, and despite it being an Ashen Wind Skull, it actually has a new function that we haven't seen before. The dynamics of the voyage will be awesome and I hope we get some suitable rewards, like Briggsy's jacket to go with it. No real complaints here. I'm happy this wasn't launching in January with Season 11, but only delayed by 1 month instead. One minor concern I thought of when I was editing this video, this will be a magnet for cheaters, and would probably start to bring them out of Hourglass and into the main adventure mode more. And now we've come to the big one and possibly the most controversial thing Rare has announced. Some of you will be jumping for joy and some of you will be crying. PVE servers, known as Safer Seas, will be coming to Sea of Thieves. Before you shit in your hands and clap, there's a few caveats, mostly good, some bad. Progression is hampered on these servers, meaning you will be capped at level 40 for your trading companies, and your gold will be earned at 30% of what the shared world servers have. Moreover, you have no access to emissaries, the Reaper's Bones, Athena's Fortune and Hourglass factions, so zero progression for those trading companies and commendations are possible. It keeps going, so you'll be locked out of captaincy and guilds. Lastly, events like Golden Glory have been turned off. The only thing I don't agree with is the commendation progress. You can progress some commendations in Safer Seas, but Rare hasn't really been clear on what is included. Rare has this bad habit of taking achievements of long-term or dedicated players and winding them down to appeal to the lowest common denominator. And if things like the Chest of Fortune can be earned in PvE mode, then why would anyone bother with it in the main servers? Then those who do want to have PvP in their world event, shocking I know, will end up having dead world events. As a veteran player who has maxed out all my companies, I know I can go and get all my remaining Gold Hoarder, Order of Souls, etc. commendations done with zero threat to me, or the risk of progression being lost. I think Rare's nailed the balancing of this in all aspects aside from that, and I think it will bring in new players. It will probably be good for my channel, if I'm still making videos anyway. And I can certainly see myself hopping on to try the new adventures when they bother to come out, or the new Tall Tales. But regardless of these caps, the game will be fundamentally split from now onwards. I think of this as a player, which I always do, and this will be a neutral gain for the game or a net negative for the health of the servers. In December, we'll get a load of new players joining. Hey, that's great for the Emporium and Rare's Game Pass downloads. It might also be good for a Lorish channel like me or Captain Falcor. However, those who do not want to PvP will never ever join the main servers and it doesn't matter how many people play a single player instance of Sea of Thieves, it will never benefit your session as a shared world Sea of Thieves fan. This feature will not be the gateway it's intended to be. Then what's worse is that people playing on the safe servers unlock everything. Why bother playing anymore if you've done everything? This game ends at 40 for them if you hate PvP. Going further, imagine a new player joins the high seas after capping out everything. They get absolutely destroyed by an experienced player, and it's back to the safer seas forever, or just uninstalling the game. Okay, let's look at it from a success standpoint. Let's say these are a smash hit and are inevitably more popular than the PvP servers. I actually think this is going to be the case. Rare will look at that and they will tailor the new content to be enjoyed on both servers, so there goes the hope of things like shared events or PVP voyages. If that's what makes money, fair play. Is it fair to lock people out of content because they want to play on peaceful servers? Maybe, but the complaints will start and people will feel left out. But as a story fan, I cannot honestly turn to you guys and say that the PvE in this game can carry it. We saw the complaining with adventures, we've seen people moaning about the tall tales. It does not carry this game alone. And don't get me wrong, as someone who loved the Monkey Island tall tales, I see you guys complain about them all the time. If Rare made the game PvE only tomorrow and added loads of in-depth PvE mechanics, then yes, that's a different kettle of fish. But adventures are MIA, Flameheart has been delayed until 2024, and the story has all those loose ends which have no end in sight. To me, Sea of Thieves has always been about the shared moments and crew interactions. That's why Hungering Deep is one of my favourite updates. You can say goodbye to that. Regardless of how successful this is for Rare and the player base, it has now divided the focus between PvP and PvE, not that original shared world that Rare would wax lyrical about, even as recently as Season 9. The biggest disappointment for me is that this season doesn't have that much content. Guilds, you can reasonably say it is. The new Voyage looks amazing, 10 out of 10 from me, but to say this is a super season by adding PVE servers, after waiting 7 months has just been a kick in the teeth as a Sea of Thieves fan. And don't get me started on the cheating and bugs either. We got our PVE servers, we got our guilds, we got captaincy, and there's 3 studios working on this game, and it's getting the least content ever. And do not misinterpret what I say here. PVE servers haven't done this because new players, kids, whatever get to learn the game. But the development will inevitably be altered going forward. I say this absolutely from the point of love for this game. Sea of Thieves will change forever in December. It may be for the best, it may be for the worst, but it will be fundamentally a different game going forwards.